who's saying did that solve all the fraud or what?
Well, this is what the Government Accountability Office recommends us to us, and not just the Government Accountability Office, but the Centers for Medical Centers and Services. That's what they testify to us. These two sources are nonpartisan. You have the Inspector General under whatever administration recovering billions of dollars of fraud in health services or in Medicaid alone. Sorry. That's happening, right?
Sure. I mean, I imagine it's always happening. We've had a Government Accountability Office.
Form the system and you cut their spending.
If you want to find a way to do that, then you can do that. There's going to be some level of fraud in literally every system ever. That's just by percentages and numbers game. That's always going to be the case.
I agree, but we should do everything that we can to prevent that, right?
If conservatives were serious about funding the government and we're serious about like combating fraud or whatever, then we would fund our IRS more. The IRS says that there's like 400 to 600 billion with a B dollars of money out there every year that's owed to it that it doesn't even have the resources to go out and get. But the first thing Republicans do...
What do you mean they don't have the resources to get? They know the Biden administration give them plenty of resources to go after.
There was supposed to be an authorization, I think, of 80,000.
Also,
I think there was supposed to be an authorization of 80,000 new agents, and I think that's been trimmed back to either nothing or they did it with
but they had about 2 years of running these operations with a massive increase.
No, I don't think that all of the new hires and everything ever got fully implemented because they had to negotiate away. But I'm just saying that that would be the first place that you would start. It would be your IRS.
Why do we need IRS to go after health service? We
don't need
inefficient health service payments.
I imagine.
Why don't you have the HHS department go after?
I imagine there's probably a lot of integration between these departments when it comes to tracking payments and figuring out, like who's up to no good. Yeah. Like I'm sure Medicare and I'm sure Social Security rely on collaboration with the IRS to do a lot of the tracking to some extent. And so having the communication is good. So the IRS could track it better. They could probably refer it to the other agencies better.
Well, I'm sure there's communication between all the departments in order to find the inefficiency or whatever the case may be, right?
Sure. So we should fund the IRS, right?
Why should we fund the IRS?
So that they can go after...
Wait, 1 second. Are they defunded or something like that completely?
Yes, they're underfunded. They're underfunded, yes.
What does underfunded mean?
As in there is money out there. As in if we were to spend $1 on the IRS, we would make more than $1 back by them going after money that they know is owed to them, but they don't have the resources to chase down.
Oh, and abuse average Americans to go after.
Is it an abuse to pay taxes?
Payments? We're talking about entitlement programs.
No, I'm talking about IRS knowing that there is income owed.
There's back from taxes being owed to fraud in health services.
Because when people are screaming about fraud, that would require an insanely intricate approach, I would imagine, to reform an entire system to hunt down $60 billion.
Start by reforming the system a little bit,
but if
right?
you were serious about making more money for the government, I think you would do the easy thing first.
Okay, well, let's see how reform to the system works. If there's any reason to have IRS agents be funded in order to go after more fraud that they're not able to recover back, whether HHS or the Inspector General.
We do a friendly $20 bet right now that in 4 years, there will be no major reforms to any of these systems because it's just lip service that you're paying to the Trump admin.
Okay. All right.
But they just fund the IRS, go after the money. It's easy. That's easy money to get. In business, I think they call it the 80-20
the
rule.
average American, so they to use their taxpayers' money to fund the IRS more.
Do you think that you shouldn't pay any taxes at all, or?
No, well, I don't think that there's a reason.
If you're an average American and you pay your taxes, I would want other people to be paying their taxes as well. So yeah, I would want my money to make sure that everybody else is paying their taxes. Like
I don't need to hire more IRS agents or give the IRS more money in order to go and identify inefficiency in entitlement programs.
But
I have an Inspector General's office in the HHS. I have an inspectoral office.
Wait. Do you think they would be more resource efficient to reform an entire agency with no guarantee that all the fraud would even disappear versus just hiring more agents in an agency that already makes you money?
Absolutely. I think that reforming the system is much better than funding some inefficient agency that is allowing this to happen in the first place. And you're telling me,
why do you think
we add a little bit more money to them, they're suddenly going to become efficient?
How are they inefficient?
You're telling me that suddenly, because we'll give them more money and staff them with more people, they're going to become efficient. All of a sudden, it's going to go recover.
Who are you saying is inefficient?
When you have $60 billion of fraud inefficiency when it comes down to health services that the Government Accountability Office tells us, that means somebody's not doing their...
what's their yearly revenue?
Who?
Or how much money do they spend yearly? When you say 60 billion, this is against the 1.6 trillion or whatever that you mentioned earlier?
Well, Medicaid's like $800 billion, right?
Okay.
So when you have about 50, I don't know exactly what it is for Medicaid alone. This is all health service.
If it's all of health, is that including Medicare as well?
No.
Okay, so just so all of your health services is in excess of 1 trillion? Because the fraud rate is like 4 or 5%. I mean, what is the average fraud rate? What do you expect there to be there?
Well, here's the problem. I agree with you that it's low, but if we're able to recover that, then we can finally save these entitlement programs.
Answer.
Well, how are you going to continue funding
to
2032?
It's very easy by giving them money and funding them. What do you mean?
Where are you going to take the money from?
From the tax receipts that you get from your citizens.
You are going to increase the taxes on Americans?
What I'm asking you is, how do you even know that you can get rid of, do you think it's realistic to have zero fraud?
No.
Okay, so if
All right, guys, Sean Kelly here, host of the Digital Social Hour podcast. Just filmed 33 amazing episodes at Student Action Summit. Shout out to Code Health, sponsor of these episodes, but also I took them before filming each day. Felt amazing. Just filmed 20 episodes straight and I'm not even tired, honestly. So Code Health, amazing products. I also take these at home, especially when I traveled. I used to get sick every time I flew, and I started taking that. First time, I haven't had a runny nose, knock on wood. One standout element, it's so easy. You got the travel pack here, but you could just take this, fit it in your pocket if you need to. Also, all natural, like only saline solution in there. So you don't got to worry about any crazy side effects or anything. Yeah, Code's unique. With supplements, there's a lot of who knows what's in those ingredients. Code Health, I haven't seen much like this, where it's just based off the codes that are in the saline solution. So I would say they're very unique. It's going to be the future of health and medicine. Code Health has been awesome.
Feel the drop and go code yourself.
the fraud is at 5%, and we know that if we just throw more money at the IRS, it'll make the government more money by enforcing already existing tax code. We don't have to reform a whole department. Why would we try to reform for tens or hundreds of billions of dollars? Why would we try to reform an entire department in the hopes that the fraud rate goes down? And we don't have a guarantee of that. Versus just funding where we know there's easy money to get.
Well, the reform looks like through work requirements, right? So that's good.
That's not reform. That's just like an extra policy.
That's reforming the system in order to make sure that it continuously is able to be there after 2032.
It's work requirements. It's not getting rid of fraud. That sounds like it's just changing who qualifies for the program.
Okay. What about the biannual verification? Doesn't that
That's like a good implementation? Sure.
Okay.
I don't know how much fraud that...
How do you think that individuals are able to commit fraud in the first place? In let's say Medicare.
I don't know. Medicare, I think fraud is very difficult. Medicaid, I think you could probably lie. You can get paid under the table and imagine.
Stuff like that. So biannual verifications can probably at least lower the amount of fraud that is happening on an annual basis, right?
You have to counterbalance it with how much the system costs versus how much
So let's see how a year of this reform, I don't know if you want to call it a reform, works out. And if it doesn't work, then we can possibly look at
but even
extra funding for various agencies that will actually go and tackle this stuff.
I guess, but again, you're talking 60 billion. So even if they solve 100% of the problem, it would be 1/10 of what the IRS could go after.
I want you to think about this over the next 10 years. That's $600 billion just in one program. And when we're talking about programs running out of money by 2032, or them costing us $1.4 trillion to run on an annual basis, it seems like it's a good step to try and recover and to reform the system as much as you can to ensure that the program actually continues on.
Sure. And I would say that in business, you learn the 80-20 rule.
Wherever you guys are watching this show, I would truly appreciate it if you follow or subscribe. It helps a lot with the algorithm. It helps us get bigger and better guests, and it helps us grow the team. Truly means a lot. Thank you guys for supporting. And here's the episode.